No, it's Thursday. Anyway, people, today is, I think, October 24th, 2019. It's a Thursday. So what's going to happen here is I didn't get outside yesterday, right? Not like the good old days where I could do 3-4 days in a row. So anyway, it's going to be some heavy-duty labor. So Andre and I will be clearing out this.
You and me.
Yeah, you. That's right. And then what we're going to do is, you see that anyway, we're going to put in here. Start building one in here. That's the goal. And then clear it out. And then I have some old carpet that I'm going to start piecing in today and just getting it ready for the winter and covering up what I can with this carpet. You can see it there on the ground, right? Clear it all out. Start building in the shelving, right? The ledging. It's called ledging, right? And obviously, whatever. I've been over here. I've already weeded a whole bunch. You can see there's pumpkin.
It's all we knew.
Yeah, pumpkin. And as you can see, I've already started to take out the weeds or whatever.
Oh, that's good.
Right? Cleared off the walkway a bit. Right? And then,
this is not my ball. It's over there.
I don't know about that. They don't have kids over there. Got into this pile. You can see.
Yeah, it was over there.
So, anyway.
It wasn't, it's not here.
Well,
I have my own ball.
they threw it over here. That's why it's over in this yard. They don't have kids over there, Andre. That's probably some old ball kicking around from years ago. Okay, we'll be back.
Okay, it's all red.
Okay.
Just want to give it. Okay, people. Okay, people, so I'm just going to stir some stew here right now. You see? That's all I'm going to stir. Look, I'm stirring it. Stir, stir, stir my stew. Stir my sink stew. Look at him. He's with, Get on board, matey. What's going on? I don't know. Well, whatever is going on, we better go. Like, look, I'm steering. That's all I'm doing is just steering this all. And then, that's all I'm going to do is just steer. And Nell's over there. Go see what she's doing. So, that's all I'm going to do later. Look around. Hey, now.
What do I got? What is that?
Hey. Hey.
What is that? That's wheat.
Wheat?
Show them. Right here.
Oh.
Well, pay attention to what you're looking at.
am.
See?
Yeah. Where did you get that?
Growing in the hay. Growing in the hay.
Growing in the hay?
Yeah.
Look at that thing growing in the hay.
Yeah. Are you showing them what we're doing with that
Stew?
stew?
Yeah, I did.
What did you show them?
I showed them everything of it.
Did you show them how we're doing stuff with it?
Yeah. Yes, I did. Like, we're now using this for the dirt and the plants.
Oh, did you show them over here?
Yeah, sure. There it is, people. What now it's doing.
And then we take some of this.
And put it everywhere.
Right.
Spread it everywhere.
And then cover it up with dirt so that over the
Man, Pumpkin's racing.
pumpkin's racing, eh?
Yeah, he was going.
So that over the winter it adds what do you call it? It adds nutrients. Okay, you can turn it off. You're done.
Well, can I show them what happens if I put the rock in? The stew?
Well, I don't want.
Don't worry now, it's just one.
Camera.
Don't worry, I'm not going to drop it. I'm just going to put it in nicely. See what's happening? it's sinking down.
Sinking. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's right.
It's actually sinking and sinking.
Yeah.
Oh no, it sank all the way to the bottom. Well, bye-bye, people. You see there's bubbles now. I wonder why.
Okay, people. So, anyway, it is like... Oh, my God. I gotta turn this off. Hold up. Oh, maybe I'll leave it on. It's just... It catches my eye, right? Because it makes a better... It does actually make a little better... what do you call that? Video, right? But it blares in my eyes, you know. Now I'm looking at myself. Can you tell? Can you tell when I'm talking to myself? I say, like, Andre, you can't be looking at yourself, because if you look at yourself, you look like you're egotistical. You know, it's all about you, right? When in fact, it should be about the viewer, the person who's watching you, because there's interaction going on here. So, anyway, we know how I am with days. So, it is Friday. I think it's October 27th, 2019. All I know is it's Friday, and it's raining now. So I'm not going to go out in the yard, people. But I have tons of things to do on the inside. And, speaking of the inside, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get up into War Room 2, a.k.a. the sewing room, and I'm going to finish getting this box packed up for Kitamat, right? And I'm sitting here, I'm having my coffee, it's like 8:30 in the morning, and I'm like, okay, you're not going outside. You know, I was all gung-ho to go outside today and just do what I needed to do, but it's pouring rain, so at best, the only thing I'm going to do is feed the birds, because I was supposed to do that yesterday, but besides that point, I'm on the inside, and I have to, I'm telling people I'm going to send out books, and I'm not sending out anything, right? So anyway, because of the yard, I'm telling Andre, like, Nana's getting tired here. I don't know, Andre. I don't know how much longer I want to live here, because just the time that it takes to keep up with the yard is just, and the amount of labor, right? I'm lifting big garbage can buckets full of freaking, what do you call those things? Clippings, and you dig out the weeds and you throw them, everything gets all in a big, bucket after bucket after bucket. In the old days, it used to be morning glory, so I should be happy. Anytime I come across morning glory, I give it to the city. But the rest of it, I compost. And my neighbors over here, these Punjabi young men over here, right, like, they don't do any kind of gardening, so they can't fathom what I go through in terms of dealing with this yard. And, like, their house is facing this way. So, they must be seeing me fill up this compost box that I made with Andre this year. Because this thing is almost full, people. Almost full. Now, mind you, it was a lot of the trees that they cut down and they didn't want, and I layered them, right? I layered them. I don't know if I showed you that, but I layered them. And then in between layers you put, right? Well, now it's just taking everything that I don't want to bury into the ground and just piling it into this compost. And this thing is full. And if you've been watching my videos, you would know how big that compost box is. And then once it's full, what you do is you take a tarp and you cover it to keep from the weeds from growing, and then it heats up, right? And it kills the roots and everything. And then next year, I'll have to flip it around, add a few more things, and then do it again. And then by year 2, that's when you really start getting dirt. So anyway, that's not what I'm talking about, right? But yeah, they must be like looking and like, holy shit, she just keeps coming with bucket after bucket after bucket. Just keeps piling on, piling on, piling on. Anyway, so, I'm kind of like, I'm not at my best in terms of, being whatever, because I've been exercising, doing gymnastics, and so I'm stuck in the house today. So I'm going to just try and, I'm at that point in my life again where if I take one day off and I rest, I feel guilty. Like, for example, Wednesday, I should have been in the yard because it wasn't raining. I was in the yard Tuesday. I should have been in the yard Wednesday. And I was in the yard yesterday, which is Thursday, right? But Wednesday, I ended up being on the inside because I was working on that video with what I had done with Shimei at 2 o'clock in the morning after I was outside all day. Right? I had to clear out this computer because, blah, and then I had to convert the video over and all this other stuff. And plus I was tired, right? Because again, I was lifting those big ass buckets full of whatever, taking it to that compost, piling and piling and piling. Like I've probably already done at least, oh God, anywhere between 5 to 8 buckets full. Because that's how many I've done so far, I can't even remember. Not including the little things that I carry over there into that one big compost box. And I'm chuckling to myself, thinking those guys probably think I'm nuts, right? Next door, right? Because they don't garden, so what would they know, right? They don't know that that's how you make good dirt. Right? If you don't, you sow what you reap. If you want good dirt, you will make good dirt for yourself. Well, that's what I'm doing, but it's like intensive labor, right? So, and with the rains, winter coming, I don't like working outside. And so I'm like, the stuff that I'm putting in the mail has been on the back burner because I've been doing other things. So it doesn't matter what I'm doing, wherever I'm doing it, how I'm doing it. I'm always feeling guilty that I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Like Wednesday, I was doing something on the inside because I had already been out on Tuesday. I was up at 2 in the morning till 4 in the morning doing the video around Shimei. And then I got up and then I was like, ooh, who wants to go outside? I'll convert the video over first, give my body a chance to rest. And then by the time I got there and I was like, it was going on 1 o'clock in the afternoon, it's too late. Because, it gets dark at 5:36, right? 6:30, it's already dark, right? So, you start working at 1, 2 o'clock, and you've only got 3 hours out there, and you're going to get dirty because you're carrying big-ass buckets full of weeds and mud and whatever, right? Into the compost pile. It's like... So I didn't go outside and all day, people. And I really made a mental note of it. I'm like, why the fuck are you feeling so guilty for not, 1, going outside, 2, getting this stuff in the mail? Because I know people are watching and they know that sometimes things take time, right? It's not like my intentions are not there. They're there because I've already done it, people. I have sent stuff to Ohio. I have sent stuff to Florida. I have sent stuff to Governor Rick Perry in Texas. I have sent stuff to Obama before he became the president. And a whole list of other people, right? Al Sharpton, I have sent stuff to since the beginning of this nonprofit. Okay? So, today is my day where I can just calm down, relax, don't panic, right? Don't feel guilty about shit because I'm not doing something else, right? I'm going to just really, it's like you have to, I don't know, you have to just kind of insulate yourself when you're having these flare-ups because of all this pressure, right? Because of, you're so dispersed with your responsibilities. And, of course, everybody holds you to account to your responsibilities when you don't meet their expectations or timelines as a deflection sometimes away from their responsibilities and what they're not doing or should be doing, right? So, I'm going to get into my sewing room and work on the box going to Kitimat, which brings me to say that, and I know you're watching, and that's good, and we've discussed it, so it's like no news flash, right? I am going to send you out the collection box for the nonprofit. It's just a little one, and in your travels, you're going in and out of businesses, whatever, you just have it in a little bag, and, in passing, you could say, hey, how would you like to, start this little program for our community? Because that's where you're establishing it, in your community in Kitimat. Okay? The only thing that I want from that is just upon request is to be able to see the ledger in terms of how much money is going in and where that money is going, right? I don't care if it's $2 or $2,000. It's just simple math, right? And then this way, we can build on program development. That's what we can do. Because as I'm sitting here, you know, and I'm like, I'm going to upload this after, okay? And then when I get into the sewing room, it will be a new video, right? Because honestly, these videos get too long. But then on the other hand, it is what it is, right? So I'm going to try and keep it down. But I'm jumping with my thoughts again because I'm giving you information here. So it's just kind of going like this, but at the end of the video, you'll see how it all fits together in terms of, oh, well, I feel guilty that I didn't do this, or you know, I should be doing that, or, you know, blah, whatever it is. Okay, so, you know, it's morning, I'm having my coffee, you know, I'm trying to make my arrangements for the day. I paid the bills, I'm broke, right? Trying to remind myself that I am very happy and grateful. Well, I wouldn't say happy, but definitely grateful for being in this position that I'm in life, right? In regards to, I have a home. I've been here for a long time. I can grow food. My grandson is happy to be here. Go back to where you came from.
Me?
Yeah, I'll let you know when you can come out. Leave me alone. I don't want no interruptions.
I just came out for
Okay, I'm doing a video though.
Okay.
I'm doing a video. Okay. I'm almost done.
Pop?
Yeah. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So, I don't even know what
I got cat pop.
Sure. Because he wants to stay here, people. He doesn't want to move. And with Amari's needs changing, assuming that I will be able to, what do you call it? Navigate with moving him into positions because he can't move himself, and then transporting him from one end of the house to the other end of the house. I mean, that one is a ticking time bomb in terms of he's going to get so big that at some point I don't think I would be able to live in this house even if I wanted to. Right? But that's not for a few years off. And then on the other hand, with me spending the amount of time that I do in this yard, and you go into my videos, and it's very documented, right? And the fact that I'm getting older, and I'm not feeling that great, and I've got a full plate with too many things that I shouldn't even be having to deal with, like with the stuff with Uncle John, the stuff with Shmei, you know, that, what happened to Amari, just, you know, those are really heavy-duty, I don't know what those are. Okay, those are smorgasbords, you know, that's how full that plate is, okay, plates, more than one. And as people are, you know, commenting on my videos that, oh, you're so strong, and I'm in my head, I don't feel strong, people, because if I was strong, I wouldn't have to be dealing with those things. That's the thing. If I was strong, I should have been able to nip that shit in the bud the minute CIBC Bank did what they did when they falsified their fucking records, people, so that they could eventually just kick out the card and act like I never existed as enduring power of attorney 2, okay? What they did, what is it called? They cut John's life short. He only lived 3 years after the fact of what that fucking bank and Fraser Health Authority did to Uncle John and his immediate family. They cut Uncle John's life short. They cut Shmei's life short. I came across, I don't have it here right now, but we're going to do it, okay? She made application twice, people, to go to college. When she got out of high school, she got out at the top 10% with honor roll. And that was under duress because of what happened to Andre for those 15 months while in foster care. And then what happened to Uncle John not even a year later after we got Andre back? And she still maintained that honor roll status, right? So after she got done with that, I don't know. I don't know if she went to work right away, working at McDonald's, or if she went to some little college to get her just her prerequisites for nursing. Because she didn't get them in high school. Because in high school, they wanted her to be a tourist guide. So they were encouraging her to be a tourist guide, not think about being a nurse. And we need to think about this one, people. Why would they not want to educate the people that are born in this country to be nurses if they have the ability to do that? No, instead, they want her to really focus and think about developing a career in tourism because that's where the money was at. That's what they were telling her as their counselors were telling her that, oh, your mom is crazy. And this is when she was 17 and all this shit was going on with Uncle John. And I'm the crazy fucking one, right? Okay, I'm the crazy one. But yet Uncle John just goes disappearing into the abyss because his fucking bat witch sister decided that she wanted to take his fucking money, and she played the system because she was a senior freaking, what do you call that, union staff that pulled some strings and bought off a whole bunch of people because she knew she was going to come in with, what, 300,000, 400,000? How much money did Uncle John inherited? That should be a question to the viewers that watch these videos. How much money did Uncle John inherit that they never told him about for 14 months? And because he didn't want to ask people, him and I, we sat here and we talked about it. He said, Judy, don't you find it interesting that, they don't talk about Joan's will? In other words, his sister and everybody else in Victoria? And I said, well, I suppose, John, I don't know. And what do you think? He said, well, you would think that if Joan left money or had money, they'd tell me about it. And I'm like, well, you're right, John. You have a point. What do you want to do about it? Well, I don't want to ask. I said, why, John? Why don't you want to ask? Because I don't. And you know what his answer was, people? He didn't want to ask his family if Joan had left money through a life insurance policy because he didn't want his family thinking that the only thing that he wanted in life was fucking money. So he never asked. We took Joan in because he wanted to be there for her and help her, not because he wanted her fucking money. And because of that, he never asked if Joan had money or anything when she died. Because when she was over here, nobody gave a jack shit rat ass about her except us. But she did, and they did not tell him, people, for 14 months after the fact of them medically kidnapping him, drugging him up, illegally detaining him. Do you see how big that fucking smorgasbord is? As they tweaked their files, whether it was medical files or whether it was banking files, it was all the same shit. And they cut his life short. Under detainment and drugs. And a whole bunch of fuzzy shit. Okay? And Shimei rose above all that crap, people. And then after she got out of high school, and because those stupid fucking counselors at that stupid fucking school were sitting up there telling her, oh, your mom's crazy. Your mom's crazy trying to hang on to the fort as, people are just disappearing. Andre disappears. Uncle John just disappears. I'm trying to hold down the fort saying, Shmay, you just need to go do what you want to do. If you really want to be a nurse, you go do that. Right? So she went back into some other little something. I have the papers. She got her upgrade, in biology and those things. Right? so that she could become the nurse, because that school she was in wanted her to be a tourist guide. So they never put her in science. They gave her other things. They didn't put her in fucking science. They didn't nurture her to be a nurse. They didn't need fucking nurses, because they got fucking nurses coming out of the fucking woodwork off the airplane. Okay? And nurses that will commit crimes for the senior staff within the public union sector of British Columbia, Canada. That's why they didn't want Shemay to be a nurse. It's easier to corrupt something that comes off the fucking airplane than it is something that lives in this actual fucking country. Right? So that burns my goat. So there's that smorgasbord. Now we're on to a new one. We got Uncle John over here. Now we've got this one over here. Bubbling away. Piling up, whatever. Okay? And anyway, she got all what she needed. And I came across papers where she made an application. And I do remember this. It was in 2016. Just as that scoundrel was fucking hanging around. Why he was here, I don't know. But anyway, and she put the application in for an RN, registered nurse, through this school. And it was like a private college, right? And it would have costed $32,000, because I seen it. But she didn't have $32,000, people. Right? There were no supports for her, for that program. Right? And because Marcaine had gone to Langara, he's saying, well, gee, that's a lot of money. Maybe you should be taking that course at Langara, which is a public college, and it's a little cheaper. I'll help you through that process. And by that time, she said, well, I'm just going to work for a while. Right? So she's working at McDonald's, getting all stressed out over fucking junkies and drug addicts and all these fucking crazy people, 1,000 a day, every fucking day. Right? Serving them. The last thing she's thinking about is doing drugs, because she can't fucking stand them. She never could, because she grew up with one, right, in terms of her sister. But, she's braving the storm, people. Thinking, well, if I work for a while, save a bit of money, I can go to college. But for some reason, that scoundrel was around, and she couldn't see him for what he was, right? I don't know what it was. I figure trauma-based fucking, she lost Andre, trauma, right? And then she loses Uncle John, trauma. And then she sees her sister going fucking crazy over fucking now being a junkie. Trauma, right? And what does she do? She created herself a trauma-based fucking relationship with a fucking idiot that fucking killed her in the end. What you gonna do? Take that one to court, Tamika? Right? Because that's basically what happened. Right? In a nutshell. So, she put an application in for $32,000 to go to fucking school to be an RN in 2016. She never made it there. Okay. Then she got pregnant a couple times. Third time, I said, look, you can't keep aborting babies. It's not good for you. It's not good for your body. It's not good for your mind. Who fucking cares what other people have to fucking say? God blessed you. He gives you what you can handle. You need to give yourself a chance and have that baby. Don't worry. But I want to go to school. I don't want to be a single mom. I don't want to do this. I don't, blah. I'm not, and I'm like, it doesn't matter. There would women out there would die to be in your position in terms of getting pregnant. Some women can never get pregnant. So you don't see it as a curse. But for some reason in our fucking society, they've twisted life in so many different directions that all we are now is just a commodity for these people. That's why she was embalmed illegally in a hospital setting, had her fucking teeth pillaged, and God knows what else pillaged. There's another smorgasbord. Right? That is the reality of it, people. As they're sitting there, people that are running the fucking show, the professional, the public union sector, the God, the almighty authoritarian, don't breathe crowd, right? Calling her a closet drug addict, right? that who did it to herself. She should have known better. She kind of deserved it because she didn't listen to what mainstream media says. Oh, every drug under the sun now in Canada, British Columbia, Canada, or anywhere in the country is all laced with fentanyl. So if you even attempt to do even just a snort of this or a puff of that or whatever the fuck it is that you think you're fucking doing, you know, if you die, that's all on you. That is what the public media has convinced everybody to think, so that when it actually does happen, the professional can come along and say, don't say we didn't warn you. And they will disregard everything about the person, character, who died. It doesn't matter whether she was an honor student. It doesn't matter that she worked at McDonald's serving the homeless $1,000 a day for over a year and a half. And did it with a good attitude, right? It doesn't matter that she went to school and got good grades and upgraded to go on to the next level. It didn't matter whether she was going to borrow over an extended amount of money, which she should never have had to borrow in the first time, because if the provincial government was really concerned about its constituency, it would have made available resources and funds for Shimei to go from high school into college to be a nurse. Versus, well, we got an airplane ticket here for $350. I think that can take us as far as Fiji. So all we have to do is just pluck one out of Fiji and bring them over here. Promise them whatever they want to hear, as long as they do our dirty work for us. And because they're not going to harvest those ones, people, they're going to go after the Shimeis. And that's exactly what they did. Because even though she never made it to that college, she still continued to work. Even though she was stuck with a fucking idiot and couldn't break away from that trauma shit that she had been going through for how many years? Because of the public union sector? Started in 2012. Started actually before then, people. But it really started when they fucking kicked out Sierra and took Andre. And then took John. As I was being attacked left, right, and fucking center. If it wasn't coming from the fucking city, it was coming from MCFD. In terms of, oh, well, we got a complaint. Don't breathe. Oh. This is all this nervous energy when you're lifting all these fucking buckets and shit, you know, and you're just thinking, you know, right? It just kind of goes in par with the bucket. Ha! And then you carry that bucket from over there all the way down over there and you throw it in the fucking pile. That's basically what it boils down to. That's man's work. So, I don't even know where I'm going with this. Obviously, it's too long now, but, you know, it's just like, so okay. So that's just another plate, right? Obviously, it's a big plate, right? There's so many things going on in that plate, right? So many different fucking choices and things to talk about and just whatever, right? So, okay. So I really wanted to just touch base on this nonprofit, right? A little bit. With all this bullshit going on in my life, people, and it's not bullshit because if it was bullshit, I wouldn't fucking even waste my time on it, right? But when you take it into the context of normal living in a country that professes itself to be fucking safe when it is not, okay? Professes itself to be a civilized society above other fucking countries and their ways of living, it is not. Okay? Because what's happening is we've gotten too many modge-podge of different ethnicities with different fucking religions, with different fucking, ideologies, and, you know, they're banding together, and they're committing crimes within the public service sector services at the direction of senior staff. So I have to navigate around all that. And I'm sitting here and, okay, these are the things I have to navigate around. And I'm looking at my wall, and I see those, what do you call those? Those certificates. They're not there because I gave them to the board director. And I'm going to tell him when I see him, like, you need to find another location to have everything sent to you. You know, I don't care if it's an accounting office, wherever you want those bank statements to be sent to. This is this month's. These accounts are dormant now, though, people. This is what I tried to warn CIBC Bank about. What they did to John just became like a domino effect. Right? Shutting down accounts. They shut down Shimei's account, trust account. They shut down Andre's trust account. Right? They shut me out of John's account. Right? They shut John out of John's account. Right? They shut down these. They're all fucking dormant. Alright? This all can be mailed to wherever the board director wants to. I told them, look, if they don't want to reactivate these accounts after, you get more serious about what you're doing, we'll just go back to the same fucking bank and open up new ones, close these ones, and move along. Because the thing is, if he comes up with a $2 million, and this is what I want to say, if he comes up with a $2 million donation from India, because I think that's where it's coming from, right? Then obviously, I'm going to be putting in my 2 cents and asking for a bit of money out of that $2 million so that I can continue on with program development. Park is a big one for me. He already knows that, so that's the majority of the money will go in that direction. If the money even comes. Right? And then I'm going to ask for, some seed money for this little collection box that I'm going to send to Kitimat. So I'm going to because I got room in the box that I'm packing for it. Right? So I'm going to put it in there. Today I'm going to go in there, I'm going to do a little video, I'm going to unpack your box, I'm going to pack it, I'm going to show you what's in the box so people can see. They're going to see the little collection box. Hold on. Okay, so, bill collectors for Sierra. She doesn't even live here. I don't know why they keep calling. As if Sierra has money. Okay, so, how do you run a successful nonprofit, right, when your life is so shitty, right? And even though other people may see you as strong, how can you possibly be strong if you can't protect your loved ones? Never mind fight for them after the fact. Because if you notice, any kind of fighting that I do, whether it's in a legitimate court setting, talking about YouTube, like on YouTube, because that's a form of fighting, continuing to try and fight in terms of, documenting evidence or, sitting down and writing another lawsuit, that doesn't stop from what has already happened. And based on the pattern in terms of the targeting of my family, I don't feel very strong, people. I don't understand, like, how people can see me as being strong when I can't even meet the basics in terms of protecting my family from predators within the community, right? And it takes so much of my time in terms of having to try and fight for something you've already lost. Time and over again. Lost Uncle John, right? Lost the fight that I tried to put together to fight for him, to get him back. Lost that. Those judges, when I came in contact with those judges, John was still alive, people. They could have put an order forward to let those kids of mine, Shimei and Marcaine and Tisha and Andre, to go on the ferry and go see Uncle John. The judge had an opportunity to do that. Instead, the judge played fucking dumb, tried to pass the fucking buck, and then turn around and sent it to the fucking cops when it got up to the point where I was supposed to be going in for an application to waiver fees, not make a decision as to whether I was guilty or not. Not whether the corporation was guilty, but whether I was guilty for fighting, for trying to be strong. Right? So there's no strength in any of that. Not when you're fucking defeated. Not when you feel fucking defeated. Not knowing, not when you know that you're going to be defeated. Because you're dealing with people that don't fucking respect the rules. Right? That have integrity. That have any kind of fucking morality. Like, who does what they do that they did to Shimei? Like, who does that? And to what end? Medical fraud? Because what? They did all that to Shimei's body, allowed that shit to happen, but yet when you go into a funeral mortician, right, business, they're talking about, oh, well, we do this, and this, all because we're trying to respect the dead. All because we're trying to respect the family. All because we know that between death and the transition of life and death is a hard time for the people left behind in terms of emotional, whatever. And so therefore, when they embalm somebody in a funeral home and then they put them on display, they do it for the family's well-being. Well, what the fuck did they do to Shimei? Because there was nothing in there anything to do with the well-being of anybody. Except for maybe them that were like, oh, look how well we're looking after her. Oh, she's so sick. She's so sick. But we treated her like she's our sister. Like, shut up. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, how do you fight that? Where's the strength going to come for that, people, when you're already fucking defeated? And then, on the other hand of the spectrum, you gotta, well, I'm the president of New Foundation for Community Partnerships. And really, it is a very, 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 very good foundation because it's been around since 2001 and it was built on good intentions for the community as well as for the nation. And because we're a friendly nation, we thought we would reach out our hand to our partnering nation, which happened to be the United States of America, so that between the two countries, we could actually do something good. We could actually do something good. So, being that we're talking about that, do you see this? Go back into my videos. You will see me working on them. Well, this one's going to Kitimat, people. Sometimes you just have to take chances in life. Right? Not with this lock, though. Lucille will have to put on a new lock with a new key. Just save the receipt, and when the money comes back in, you just take out what you paid to buy the lock. All right? And then, in your travels, you take this box, and you see if you can put it in a business. I will look for a chain. I will put a little chain on it, so that if they want to attach it onto their counter underneath, so it can't be just ripped off easily, right? I mean, it would rip off if they want to take the box fast, easy enough. It would just, one person just rip, the chain would just rip off. But you'd hear it, you'd be alerted, versus them just coming and grabbing and sneaking it underneath the arm and walking out the door. Because when I go out and about in the community and I ask businesses, I don't anymore, but when I used to ask them to put up a box for me, that was one of their major concerns, somebody running off with the box. So anyway, I'm going to send this box out, and hopefully within your travels over the next little while, you'll be able to find a small business that will put that in their storefront by their cashier register, and you can start building on a program, however you build on the program, for a pet program, right? Whether it's with the, the feral animals like cats and those type of things that need spading and neutering and rabies shots, or whether it's something to do with raccoons or even bears for that matter, right? Just something to build on. And then if this $2 million comes in through this new board director, well, he's not a new board director, through this board director that's taking on, growing into the position of becoming a president. He's growing into it, right? So, once he's comfortable with his position, and if he's got money in the bank and I catch wind of it, well then I want a few $1,000s. I'm thinking $10,000 to $25,000 as seed money for the pet program in Kitimat. That's what I'm thinking. So that's why I'm sending out this box, only because the board director is getting me to think. Think about things that I used to think about and had a good attitude about people. Things that I used to think about before all this shit happened with Uncle John, Andre, Shmay, Sierra, Amari, right? That's more than half my family. Not to mention that Tisha's mind is going like this. Marcane's mind is going like this. My mind is going like this, right? We're still going like this. John's dead. His nothing no more. Shmay's dead. Nothing no more. Small little kids, well, we don't know what the effect of that's going to be until actually Andre grows up. Amari, well, we kind of know what's going to happen to Amari. He'll never be up to speed for that, race. But he might surprise us with a few other things. Right? So, do you remember these? These are these little pebble pouches. They're kind of childish in a lot of ways. Right? You see that? Bayou corn in Louisiana. The good old USA. Toss it into bayou corn where that sinkhole is. Let those rocks start to ripple. Let those water rings, right? Water rings start to ripple. You toss it into the water. It starts to ripple. It creates an energy. All right? Well, that's what this is. This is a moral support for bayou corn. Up in the bayous where that sinkhole is. As well as creating national movement for land restoration that benefit the local wildlife, the animals, the people. So they go par and par with each other, right? You can see that. So if somebody does a $5 donation, you can give them one of these or something. Then I'm only going to send 3 just for the sake of sending 3. People don't seem too interested in stuff like this. Right? At least not right now. But you have them, and you never know. Maybe you might know somebody out there that wants to sew and make a few because they've got nothing else to do. And if they can make $1 on the pouch or whatever, right, and then provide them to the businesses that have these boxes, it's just a thank you to the ones making a donation. And then you can establish a better pet program. Whether you're working with your existing service providers that deal with animals, or whether you create your own, remains to be seen. And then, I'm almost at the end of this, people. I'm so tired. Because we are talking about the nonprofit here. Do you remember these? Well, Not like I got a lot of time. I don't. But I just want to remind people that we have other ways to make money, right? And this is just a simple sample. In other words, we can get creative and do different things. I have things in mind. I just don't have the time to do them. And I want to set this up in with the various states and provinces where money generated from these hats stay within those states or provinces, basically. And then it is another way to generate income for program development, right? And I know that, 19 years later, I'm way off the fucking mark. But, maybe if that board director gets a little bit of money, well, $2 million isn't a little bit of money, but if he gets that money, maybe he'll let me hire somebody to help build in this, right? And that would be a good thing. Because otherwise, people, if this man doesn't step up to the plate, I'm serious, it's all going to go to the wayside. All of it. Right? Because there's too many negative forces out there. Right? If you're a bad person, okay, if I was a bad person, if my family was bad, these things would never have come about. It just wouldn't have happened. We'd be busy like them, running around committing crimes. But because we're the ones who don't commit crimes, we're the ones being attacked and singled out and targeted and taken advantage of. It's kind of hard to be strong against that, right? So, again, when people say I'm being strong, I don't see how I'm being strong. Because my life is falling apart, right? A little at a time. Because it's just too much. Like, it's so much that it's not even real, people, but it is real. That's the problem. It shouldn't be anything that you would just, the stuff that I'm going through is something that you would read in a book as a story, not as a real life experience. And then have to sit up there and put the funk out. Put the funk out. I have to be funky and promote the good around the nonprofit so that this board director gets a fair fighting fucking chance. You understand what I'm saying? How can this board director have a fair fighting fucking chance when my life is so fucking shitty? And I've got this really dark, it's darker than a closet with bones rattling around in it because some of it's just so morbid, right? So, I remind him, I make videos. I don't know if he watches them, right? I just remind him that I make videos. Right? So anyway, in keeping with our board director that's growing into becoming a president, right? Because he's going to take over my position. In good faith, people, and this is how these are going out to, what do you call? Kitamat. In good faith. Right? So when I get into my sewing room, aka War Room 2, I'm going in with good faith. Right? I'm going in with good faith. I'm not going to feel guilty because I'm not in the yard. It doesn't matter what I'm doing, people. Right? I'm not going to feel guilty because I'm not working in the yard right now. Right? I am going to go into the sewing room, aka War Room 2, with good faith. And I'm going to continue working on packing up my boxes. Well, one box. And some books. I'll show you in there when I'm doing that. I got to fix a bra that Tisha took from me with an outfit because she's wearing it for Halloween. So I'll show you that. And I don't know if this video made much sense today other than for those that are complimenting me and saying that, oh, I'm so strong. I appreciate the sentiment. I really do. However, I don't necessarily feel strong because I feel like I'm in a, it's more than a leaky boat. I feel like I'm in a sinking boat. I don't even feel like I'm in a boat, people. I feel like I'm in some, you know, those little rubber dinghy tube things, right? With a couple, one paddle. I'm in a little rubber dinghy, you know, the donut type. I'm kind of like in something like that with just one paddle, with being in that fucking whirlpool of a sinkhole myself. That's so when you're in that position, you don't feel strong, right? You're just trying to break the, you know, you're going this way in, and you're just paddling to try and get yourself out, although you don't seem to be going anywhere. If anything, you're going down. So there is no strength in that, right? I try and remind myself that, wait, you're strong, you, come on. I don't feel so strong. But I do feel that this is good faith. If you find that you can't find anybody that will, what do you call it, put this in their storefront, then you send them back to me so that perhaps I can find somebody else to do it. Right? Because, you know, to keep it would be wrong. They're not collector items in that way. They're to build on programs, right? But, you know, hang on to them for a while anyway and see what happens. Give yourself a year. And maybe by then I might have some seed money. Wouldn't that be interesting? Hey, we got seed money now. Now we can really do something.